when you get dumped, discarded, ghosted, or blocked by an avoidant, the pain can be really challenging to navigate. You may find yourself having trouble doing simple things, like you don't have a desire to do some of the things that you used to find to be fun, and you don't have that the desire to eat in some cases. Some of us overeat to deal with the pain. Some of us can't sleep, and others of us can't get out of bed. It shows that it's not that there's one simple way that you're coping, that people cope. It's different for everyone. It's different for everyone. And a lot of people try to numb the pain by running away. So they go stay with family because they don't want to be alone. Yeah, that's a way of numbing the pain. Not helping you with your healing. Seems smart on the surface. Yeah, let me go and leave my house, leave my apartment, where all the pain and the memories are, and go stay with my family. But your family, when you're staying with them, you're not helping your system to lessen the sensitivity to the triggers. So there's triggers back home in your house, and while you're staying with your family, how are you going to lessen the sensitivity to the triggers? You still have the same level of sensitivity now to those triggers. In fact, you become more sensitive to your triggers the more you avoid your triggers. So you go, no, I don't want to go back there. I'll get triggered. Well, the longer you stay away from your house, the less you're able to go back to your house. Your house, you have it for a reason. There's a reason you have your own apartment. And if you stay with your family long enough, you'll remember that reason. The answer to the pain of the discard is not to go and stay with family. It's okay to go and visit and spend a little time, but that's not going to heal you. That's not going to heal you. Got to go back home. Got to go back to your apartment, to your house, and you have to see the sights, see the things that remind you of the person, and live through the initial pain that you feel. It's just little bouts, 90 seconds of discomfort, and then you have to change your thinking around those things, and then you'll lessen your sensitivity to the triggers. Welcome to day 7 of our healing together from the pain of avoidant discard or being blocked, ghosted, dumped. Day 7 corresponds with law number 7, which is never be concerned with past blame, be concerned with future responsibility. Never be concerned with past blame, be concerned with future responsibility. So what I'd like you to do on a list, on a piece of paper, make a list. In fact, we're going to draw a line right down the center of the paper. This is going to help you to get out of pain. So get a pen and paper right now. Go and get one. And then make your line down the center. On the left-hand side, this is a control list. On the left-hand side, we're going to write all of the things we have been thinking about that's causing us stress, that's causing us distress, that's causing us depression, sadness, anxiety, pain about this trauma, this breakup. And you're going to write it down on the left-hand side. That's everything you can't control on the left-hand side. So you're going to think about all the things that are stressing you out and put them on the left-hand side, things you can't control. And then everything that you can control, we're going to put on the right-hand side. Okay, so let's start working on the left-hand side. We'll do it together. But write down as you're thinking of things that you can't control, that you're thinking about. Why don't you share it right here in the chat with us, some of those things, so we can have some examples, and that will help to inspire us. So what are some examples of things that cause you pain when you think about them, but you can't control them? He left me. Yeah, that's a good one. He left me. So you write that down on the left-hand side. Something you can't control. Can't control. Is he going to come back? That's another one for the left-hand side. Can't control that. Put it down. If that's something that you've been thinking about that's causing you pain. Other people's actions? Yeah. He won't talk to me? Yeah, put that on the left-hand side. Under things that we cannot control. What my daughter thinks of me? Correct. It's not your responsibility. Can't control that. Their capacity for love? Correct. I can't control that. Lady T, I don't know what you mean when you say put me at risk. What he wants? Yeah, can't control that. Can't control what another person wants. We can't control anything they do. Their distorted mind? Correct. Can't control that. He won't talk to me? Write it down on your list. Can't control that. We're doing if you're just joining us, we're doing a control list. You draw a line down the middle of the page. On the left-hand side, we're writing down everything we cannot control that's been bothering us about this situation. He doesn't communicate. Very good. You can't control that. Write it down on the left-hand side. Their lack of accountability. Very good. You can't control that. He had multiple women. Yeah, his desires, his other relationships, you can't control that. Past decisions, good. Anything in the past, you can't control that. So on the left-hand side, write down anything in the past. Everything in the past we can't control, which ties in well with our theme for today. Our theme for today is law number 7. Never be concerned with past blame. Always be concerned with future responsibility. Let's see. Getting your partner back is not something you can control. You can't control their indecisive behavior. Very good. You can't control their healing process. Very good. His past trauma. Very good. Her lies. Very good. Hot and cold behavior. Very good. His unwillingness to heal. Very good. Very good. You can't write everything down that you can't control, Najma. Listen, Najma, to the rule. Never be concerned with past blame. Be concerned with future responsibility. So when you're thinking about fault, whose fault it is, oh, maybe this was my fault, that's being concerned with past blame. Death of loved ones, can't control that. Thinking of other girls, if he's thinking of other girls, you can't control that. His lack of transparency, can't control that. Very good. Okay, so once you've got your list here on the left-hand side, you start to see that a lot of your pain is coming from focusing on what you cannot control. Now we're going to go over to the right-hand side, and let's write down the things that we can control. You can kind of make them correspond with the other list. So there you are writing down things you can't control. So on the right-hand side, you can write down what you can control. For instance, if you write down over there, on the left-hand side, his thoughts. On the right-hand side, you can write down, I can control my thoughts. So go ahead and on the right-hand side, write down, try to start thinking about what is actually under your control. And then go ahead and share in the chat so that we can get some ideas for what we can write down. Think about it first. What is actually under your control? Write that down on the right-hand side. What is under your control? What can you control? Myself? What about yourself? Let's get specific. What about yourself? Let's be more specific. My actions, yes. I can choose myself, yes. Boundaries, yeah, you're in control of setting boundaries, of asserting boundaries. So a lot of times we get caught in thinking, is she going to come back or is he going to come back? What we should be thinking is, what will be my boundaries this time? If they're to contact me, what I should be communicating is my boundaries or my standards. Not, yeah, come meet me, yeah. Because what protects you from this pain that you're going through now is higher boundaries and standards. I can heal from my trauma, correct, very good. Fear of abandonment, that is under your control. You can alter your fears, you can deaden your fears. I can choose my healing, yes. My reaction, yes. Your mood to the extent that you change your way of thinking, your pattern of thinking. How well I treat myself, yes. My feelings, my happiness, yes, you can pursue happiness. Thoughts, following my purpose, correct. That's in our control. That's what we should be focusing on, isn't it? I can talk and I can communicate. You should be writing these down on the right-hand side. Everything you can control, write it down on the right-hand side. If you're just joining us, we're doing a control list. Everything on the left-hand side, what we can't control. Everything on the right-hand side, what we can control. I can talk and communicate, that is under your control. Or you can choose not to talk and communicate. I can choose myself, my perspective of myself, my response to his disrespect, my actions, correct. How I react to his immaturity, correct. We have all correct answers here. I can control what I allow, correct. My purpose, my emotions. To the extent that we can control our thoughts, we have a lot of influence over what our emotions are going to be. That is true. Keeping my dignity, in the sense of not acting in a way that would diminish your dignity, or not perceiving things in a way that would diminish your dignity. You have control over that. What I do with my future, yes. So now we're getting our thoughts more into the future instead of in the past. My boundaries and my standards, getting out of my fears, yes. Excellent. These are the things we control, where I place my attention. Good. So I want you to picture you have $1 billion. I want you to picture you have $1 billion. But it's not money. You have something that's worth $1 billion. It's just priceless. It's so valuable. And what is it? It is the energy of your mind. The energy of your mind is so special that whatever you channel it on, it can make that thing come true. It can bring things to life. So whatever you channel the energy of the mind on, you can bring it to reality. That's worth more than $1 billion by far. Like if someone could said, here, I have this contraption I made, and if you just channel it, all the energy of this contraption on something, it makes it come to reality. That would be multi-billion-dollar thing. And that's what you've got. You have an apparatus, you have alien technology that's able to do this. It's like almost like science fiction. So the energy of your mind, I want you to picture the valuable energy of your mind. How much of that energy, give me a percentage, how much of that energy should we invest in the things on the left-hand side? Give me a percentage in the chat. How much of that energy should we invest on the things on the left-hand side, meaning how much of our mental energy should we invest on things we cannot control? How much of our mental energy should we invest on things we cannot control? Got some percentages rolling in. I'm going to let a few more people guess on the percentages here. What percentage of our mental energy, this is worth $1 billion, more than $1 billion. How much of that should we invest on things we cannot control? J. Nicole, I didn't say this was complaint time. Do the exercise. Give me the answer. What percentage should we invest on what we cannot control? So most of you said 0%, and that would be correct. That would be correct. You're also correct, Lisa, with 15%. We would never want to go beyond that. But the problem with the things that we can't control is that where you don't have any power, you don't have any responsibility. So everything, look at everything on your list on the left-hand side. None of that is your responsibility. Look at it. Go ahead, look at your list on the left-hand side. You're worrying about a bunch of things that's none of your business. It's not your responsibility. Nobody came down out of the sky and said, you are now responsible for his actions and thoughts. Nope. None of that stuff is your responsibility. So you want to aim for putting zero focus. The mental energy of your brain is so valuable. So valuable. Yes, naturally we will notice things that we can't control. Okay? And that's why there's a threshold that it would never go beyond 15% of our energy. So you can observe, like, oh wow, look at that. I can't control that. You know, like a bird. Like, oh, wow, that's cool. You know, you can observe a bird. Can't control it. You can give it a little energy, right? But never more than 15%. So if you said 5%, 2, 3, anything under 15%, we're good. We're good. But once you get to 16% or more, it's toxic. It's toxic for you to focus more than 15% of your mental energy on something you cannot control. It's toxic. It's not good for you because you're putting power into something that can give you no production, no produce. So then by comparison, we should aim to put what percentage of our energy on the things we can control. On the right-hand side, we have listed the things we can control. What percentage of our energy should we put on the things we can control? What percentage of our energy should we put on the things we can control? Correct. You should aim to put 100% of the energy on things you can control. Your mental focus and your mental energy needs to go on the list of things you can control. So Najma, you asked the question, what about your family/husband? Okay, where would you put that on the list? Is your family/husband something you control or something you cannot control? Well, largely you can't actually control those people, right? So you put them on the list over here of things you cannot control. You can't control your family and your husband for the most part, right? Well, especially your husband, you can't control him. If you have an infant, you can control that to a degree, but even that you can't really fully control, right? So what you want to find is, in this situation, where is my actual responsibility? Like, what do I actually have control over? You have control over if you make breakfast. You have control over if you show care, love, and concern. You have control over if you speak kindly with your words. So it's not the people and their actions that you should be focusing on. It's the things that you do toward those people that you should be focusing on. And that's where we have to split the hairs. It's confusing because we think, I care about them, and it starts out good, right? Like, I'm going to do nice things for them. I'm going to pay some bills. I'm going to make breakfast. I'm going to provide for them, right? And that's good. You're focusing on what you can do. But then you start focusing on, oh, they didn't seem to appreciate the breakfast. Oh, what are they doing over there? Why are they going over there? Why are they doing this and that? Now you've put your mental energy on what you do not control. So you see, you got to actually split it down like into the details. What about the family? What about them? If it's something you do not control, you should not give it your focus. What about what they do to us? You should not focus on that. You should focus on your boundaries because you control your boundaries. You focus on your assertiveness, focus on your standards, but you don't focus on what someone else does. That should not take your focus. Does that make sense? Don't focus on what someone else does. So our law for today, law number 7 for day number 7, is never be concerned with past blame, be concerned with future responsibility. So now we see everything on the left-hand side is either in the past or in the realm of what we do not control, which is in the infinite void. If you remember the illustration where we're floating on this lush island, but outside is just darkness and outer space. That's the infinite void. That's everything we do not control. That's everything on your left-hand side of your list. So what you do is take your pen and literally, physically cross off everything on the left-hand side. Cross off everything on the left-hand side. Because everything on the left-hand side is things you do not control. If you don't control it, it deserves no focus. So you cross it off the list. You don't have, there's no energy that needs to be put into those things. We're going to aim for 0. So everything on the left-hand side, you should be crossing off, crossing off, crossing off, crossing off. Your brain sees you doing that, and it gives you a sense of relief. Because you're reminded, oh, I don't have responsibility over these things. When we don't do this exercise, it's all jumbled in our head. Like, oh, my husband, where is he going? What is he doing? Oh, my children, where are they going? Oh, my avoidant, what is he doing? Let me go to social media. Let me go drive by their house. Let me go call them. Let me check their location. It all gets jumbled in your head, what you can do, what you can't do, what you are responsible for, what you're not responsible for, and you get lost. And getting lost in that sauce is where the pain will increase and where the healing gets stopped. Because if we keep focusing on what we cannot control, we will not heal, we will not grow, and we will not be powerful, we'll be weak. Like one of you said, well, when my husband goes and visits his ex, it makes me sad. Correct. Because you're focusing on something you cannot control. The more you focus on it, the worse you will feel. The profound realization that once they leave, you can focus on yourself comes in recognizing there is benefit to the thing that you're thinking about only in the negative. Like they've left and you just keep focusing on what's bad about them. Let's focus on what's good about them leaving. Here's another list. Grab your pen and paper. What are some things that's actually good about them leaving? I can tell you when my avoidant left me, it was the first time in like almost 20 years, like in decades, that I didn't have to provide for another person financially. And this is the first time that I didn't have another person to provide for. This is a benefit. Not only does that mean you could save money, but in my case it meant that for the first time I could design my dream business instead of doing what was practical to make sure money was coming in. I could go without for a little while and allow myself to kind of go through the hard part where I wouldn't subject my family to that to build the business that I really want. So there was a clear benefit from losing that person. Saving money. What are some other benefits of that person being gone? Let's make a list. Let's work together. Write down your list, and as you hear some other examples of people, you can add to your list. What are some benefits of losing that person? This helps us to change the chemistry of our mind. Write down the benefits. Self-respect, too nebulous. Be specific. What is a specific benefit of them leaving? I get to focus more on myself. What specifically? What are you going to focus on? Not having to worry about my environment. What do you mean? Be specific. Giving an opportunity to a real love. Yes, now that they're gone, you have the possibility of finding someone better. As long as they were there, they were blocking your blessing. There's no way you can find someone better when all your energy was focused on them and they're standing next to you. There might have been good guys that were just passing you by because they saw you were already with someone. Absolutely. Now you have the opportunity, write it down. Now I have the opportunity to find real true love, real true connection, instead of having to walk on eggshells. Now I no longer have to walk on eggshells. I can spend time regulating my nervous system. Yes, now you're not being constantly, right? Now that they're gone, you can regulate your nervous system. No more anxiety. Perhaps in your case, yeah, but specifically why? Specifically why? Why has this given you less anxiety? Nervous system calmer. Good. Autonomy. Yes. Yes. What are you going to use your autonomy for, though? Like specifically in what area? I have time to only think about my needs. Yeah. Name a couple of your needs, Manina. What are some of the needs that you're going to be thinking about now? If I want to eat a granola bar for dinner, I can. I don't need to cook a meal. Very good. That's nice and specific. This is some benefit that you now have that they're gone. Give me another one. Now, if I just don't really want to eat anything or make a big meal for dinner, and I'm just like, whatever, I just want to have a little snack, you can do that. Nobody's going to be judging and complaining, and, oh, I'm a grown man, I can't eat just cheese and crackers. Feel safe? Why do you feel safe with them gone? I don't have to cook for others. Very good. Now I can chase my goals. Yeah. What's one or two of the goals that you want to chase? Very good. Now I'm not worried. Why? Why aren't you worried now that they're not there? I get to wear perfume again. There you go. There's a nice specific thing. That's what I'm talking about. Look at the actual specifics. You couldn't wear perfume with him. Now that he's gone, oh yeah, I forgot. I used to like to wear perfume. Now I can wear perfume again. Very good. I can eat whatever I want, watch whatever I want. Guys, this is not to be underestimated. Okay? You can eat whatever you want. There's a lot of joy that comes from that, right? Without having to run it past another person. When you're in a relationship, it's like you need permission for everything. Right? A lot of people are really surprised when they get in a relationship for the first time. They're like, are you kidding? I don't get to stay up as late as I want and go to bed when I want? No. No. Your spouse is, hey, what's going on? What? Why? Why are you up? Are you coming to bed? When are you coming to bed? You went to sleep? Why did you go to sleep without me? Why did you go to bed without me? Ah! We forget. We used to be able to go to bed and sleep when we were tired and wake up whenever we wanted to and stay up if we wanted to, if we were interested in something. Now you can't do that without someone's permission in a relationship, right? So now we can remember, write it down. I can go to bed when I want to. I can watch whatever I want. That's a huge one for me. We don't have to argue. I'm a channel surfer. I like to take an hour to figure out what I want to watch. No partner can handle that. They're like, what are we doing? Just pick something. Well, I really want to take my time. I want to research all these movies. We all have our preference, right? Or you might be the opposite. He takes too long to find something. I want to just pick something and watch. No longer being criticized all the time. Put it down on the paper. Very good. Very important. For the first time in your life, you are not being abused or neglected by anyone actively. That is one of the biggest benefits that everyone needs to write down on their piece of paper. For the first time, for some of us in our entire life, we are not being mistreated by someone. Having more alone time. Yeah, for what, Apple? What are we going to use it for? It's all about what we use it for. More blessings can come my way. I don't have to explain the bare minimum now. No more explanations. Write it down. See, we're flipping our thinking. Do you see how it's flipping the thinking? Like, wait a second, there's some benefits here to them being gone. I I don't have to worry about if they are going to run, if I say something. That's right, that's walking on eggshells, Nick. You're walking on eggshells trying to be careful not to, I don't want to make them run away. Okay, they're gone. Now you can just say whatever you're thinking. I don't have to worry about competing with other girls. Very good. Make sure that's on your list. I can work without feeling guilty. I can hang out with my kids without feeling guilty. Right. Remember how he used to make you feel about everything that you did? You remember that? Very good. Now I have the opportunity to achieve my vision in life. Yes, now we can focus on our goals. Not having to look a certain way, being more comfortable. Right. We don't have to make ourselves up. You ever see that TV show? There's a TV show on Amazon where she would go to bed with her full makeup on, and then once he went to sleep, she would go and take her makeup off, and then she would wake up before him and go put all her makeup back on. We don't have to do all that anymore. I can now be focusing on myself and loving myself. Just now I was having panic attack. I get to prioritize myself. Very good. I get to sleep better and gain focus on my aspirations. Very good. Not having to clean the bathroom after him. Write it down, ladies. Write it down. I don't have to clean the bathroom after him. This is a benefit. It's not all bad. My breakup brought me here. Great. There's a benefit. My energy doesn't get drained with overthinking. Good. Girl dinner, my favorite. Yes. I don't have to perform. Correct. I don't have to think about them all the time. Good. I can take a mid-afternoon bubble bath. Yes. I can listen to TikTok with no judgment, no criticism. Yeah. I can scroll social media all day, every day. I can walk down the street with my headphones on scrolling through TikTok if I want to, and nobody's going to say, "Hey, what are you doing?" It's just me. I can travel when I want to. I can go where I want without asking someone else if they want to go. Yeah, it's like you almost have to ask for permission just to go to the store. Right? You can't just go to the store. You come back home. Where were you? I was at the store. What did you get? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you ask me? Right? You really sacrifice freedom in a relationship. Let's not forget about that. You can see my best friend. I'm not criticized. I don't have to worry about him lying to me. Now you can be your authentic self. Now I can spend time with friends. Now I can get better sleep. I can sit up and read in bed. Yes. Thank you for being specific. When I come home, the house looks like I left it. Clean. Exactly. Remember that. Write that down. I don't have to be hyper vigilant. Yes. We couldn't run 2 TVs. I had to only watch what he wanted. Yeah, now you don't have to do that. I won't have to be involved with someone else's family and family events. Yay! Yay! No extra family events. I can come home to peace. Yes. I can be authentic without fearing that anything I say, he will walk away. Yes. I can wear a wig because he didn't like anything not natural. Very good. Now you can get your wigs out, girl. You can meal prep for the week and not have to worry that it'll all be eaten the same day. Hey, you put something in the refrigerator and it's still there when you come back. That's the whole kit and caboodle right there. Do you remember what it's like to put something in the fridge and then you go back and it's still there? Your food that you saved, that you wanted. Very big deal. How many things you guys got on your list so far? Save money by not having to travel an hour twice a week to see him. Very good. Thank you for being specific. It's all about the specifics. I'm tired of we're listing the benefits of them having left. I don't have to tend to his financial requests. Yeah, Carol, it was like you were his sugar mama the whole time. Let them do what they want. Yes. More time to pursue my purpose. Yes. I can take a bath alone. Yes. Jeez, he wouldn't let you bathe alone? I can wear ugly pajamas now. Yes. I don't have to worry about being tempted by unhealthy foods in the house. Yeah, you can shop for your foods that you like to have. I don't have to deal with his angry outbursts. Yes, this is the first time maybe that you've been in a situation where you don't have to worry about someone else's emotional reactions. I can sleep well without hearing someone snoring. Very good. No cigarette ashes everywhere. Yes. And by the way, if you don't like smokers, set up that boundary. He ghosted me because he couldn't have his way. He called me self-centered. That's not what we're doing right now. I don't have to worry about being blocked. Yes. I can talk to a male friend without being accused of doing anything wrong. Imagine that. You can speak to other humans now of the opposite sex and nobody's accusing anything. Wow. Put it down on the list. Thank you for being specific. He paged me when I was in a store. Now he doesn't page you while you're in a store anymore. Phrase it as, how is it a benefit? Don't phrase it as a complaint. What is the benefit of him leaving? Not having to do another grown person's laundry. Very good. Not having to perform sexually if I didn't want to. Very good. I can stay ashy. No, baby, you gotta put some lotion on that. You can't just leave it ashy. You gotta put some lotion on it. Oh my god, that's self-care. You gotta put the lotion on. I don't have to chase him, but you don't have to worry about anyone else judging you. So nobody knows. If you ashy, you just ashy alone. I don't have to chase him down to deal with basic responsibilities. Very good. Very good, guys. Yeah, so now what we've done is now look at that list and focus the energy of your mind on that list. And what happens, and you'll notice right now, there's already been an emotional shift, a chemical shift inside your body. In fact, in the chat, if you feel the shift where you're not feeling as much pain right now, after discussing some of the benefits, after writing down some of the benefits, if you feel the shift, just put a number 1 in the chat. I can feel that I'm not in as much pain when I look at it this way. Put a number 1 in the chat if you can feel that shift where you're not in as much pain. This is the beauty of perception shifting. Perception shifting. It's the same situation. It's the person leaving, but then we say, oh, you know what? Instead of looking at all the bad and everything we lost, let me look at everything I gained and everything that's good about this. I don't have to listen to boring stories. Put a 1 in the chat. That's what we're doing now. Put a 1. You guys still listed stuff. Put a 1 in the chat. I don't have to fly to Pakistan every year to be bored. I don't have to take a proverbial back seat anymore. Yeah. 1's in the chats if it's making you feel a little bit more yourself. More yourself. Just less just bogged down by this pain at all times. It's very healing for us to get out of the past blame. So what's inappropriate for us now is to do the old trauma survivor way of saying, that's my fault. It's my fault that he left. It's my fault that she didn't love me. She didn't want to have sex with me. It's my fault. And let's get into not worrying about trying to figure out whose fault it was. We're not going to be concerned with past blame. Most things in the past are a little bit more nuanced than just being your fault anyway. A lot of times we like to blame ourselves for things because it makes us feel more powerful. Right now we feel a loss of power because the person just took something invaluable away from us. So we like to say this is my fault because it gives you a sense of like responsibility. With responsibility comes power. So what you're actually searching for subconsciously is power. That's why you say that. That's why you go, it's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Another person's actions are not your fault. What another person does is not your fault. If another person leaves you or neglected you and didn't provide for your needs, it's not necessarily your fault. It is not your fault because you're not responsible for controlling their actions. They have autonomy. Further, if there is something they needed from you, if there was something that was prompting them to act a certain way, it's their responsibility to communicate their needs or their boundaries. Avoidance, don't communicate the boundaries and then they just run away. They skipped straight to enforcement, but we don't know what we're being enforced against. And sometimes they don't know either because they never really took the time to actually stop and think, okay, what is actually bothering me? They just got overwhelmed because they didn't talk, and then they run away, and then they ghost, and then they discard, and then sometimes they'll devalue you. So if you ever get back in contact with an avoidant, some of you found that the avoidant becomes mean. They left you, but then now they're mad at you. Wait, why are you mad at me? You left me. You're reaching out to them. You're just trying to like connect, show some love. Hey, what's going on? They're like, you know what? Now they got all these complaints. You were really a pain in the neck. You tried to control me. You wanted too much from me. You. It wasn't reasonable. You should have asked me. You were just a monster. You were a criminal. You were the worst. And they're telling you all this bad stuff, and you're just like, where is this coming from? Sometimes they might hit you with the, I don't want to talk to you. Don't call me. Don't contact me. If you contact me again, I'm calling the cops. You're like, what? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? That's the avoidant changing their perception of you so that they can feel better emotionally. It's a way of emotionally coping with the profound loss that they've just caused themselves. In reality, a lot of times they've just made one of the worst decisions of their life. And now they're suffering as a result because, by the way, you added a lot to their life and now they don't have any of those things. So an honest person with maturity would say, hey, you know what? I think I jumped the gun here. But they're not an honest person. They're a scared, frightened, unhealed trauma survivor, and they're scrambling for some relief. And so what they choose to do is to tell themselves that you were bad. There was something really bad about you and it was never going to work. And then they tell their closest loved ones, family, friends, that person was bad. It was never going to work with them. Meanwhile, they never really properly tried to work anything out with you. They just left. And then so finally when you reach out to them, that's why you're getting this new script. That's so weird. You're just like, where is this coming from? Well, they've been rehearsing this and they've been telling everybody this new script. They've been slandering you in their head and to everyone else. Why? Because it makes them feel a whole lot better to leave behind a monster than to leave behind a good person. So what should we do? Disconnect. For our health, disconnect. If you fight with them, they're just going to block you, discard you, ghost you. We already know what their moves are. Or even worse, they would fight back. And that's not kind to your inner child. If your inner child said, yeah, there's somebody cyberbullying me and they're saying all kinds of mean things to me, you wouldn't say, well, let's get online and let's get a back and forth with this person where we say, we try to defend you and then we see if he has anything to say back. And so when he says you're dumb and you're a stupid head, then you go back and you say, no, I'm not. And then let's see if that works. Would you tell your kid that? No, because you know if you put him back in that environment and you have him defend himself, that person's just going to go harder on him. He's going to be calling him all kinds of names. And then when he defends himself, the names are going to get worse. That's you right now, thinking that you're going to go and change the mind of your avoidant, when clearly, by what they're showing you, they've decided to malign you, to discard you, to devalue you. They've decided to do that. They're going to fight hard or ghost and run away. Those are the two options, fight or flight. So don't bother. You take the dignified action of just bloop, block, delete, hang up, whatever it is that fits your situation. Walk away. Because it's bad for your child to get more bullied. It's bad for you to hear negative information about yourself. It's bad for you to take in negative information from someone else about you, especially when it's not even true. It's bad for your mental health. So you must never sit and allow someone to verbally abuse you. And by the way, when someone sit and they criticize you non-constructively, more than 1 to 2 things, that's a verbal abuse, even if they do it calmly. Again, if someone criticizes you non-constructively with more than 1 or 2 things, that's actually verbal abuse. Don't get caught up in trying to defend yourself. They are now your enemy. At this moment, they've constituted themselves your enemy. Just walk away. Pull away. Reclaim your energy, reclaim your focus, reclaim all that mental energy of your mind, and walk away from them. They want to put the blame on you. That's why they're doing that. They walked away, and they are breaking law number 7. They are being concerned with past blame instead of future responsibility. If they were honest and healthy, they would be able to take responsibility. Hey, they would say, I hope you're doing okay. I apologize for the way I handled that. Please forgive me. They would take responsibility. And then they would be in action. Future responsibility is about what we can actually control. Future responsibility is about what we control. But they're not focused on that. They're focused on past blame. Don't you do that. Don't you say, well, it's really their fault because... No. Don't say, well, it's my fault because... No. Don't worry about whose fault it is. Law number 7 is never be concerned with past blame. Be concerned with future responsibility. So don't go back and try to figure out who's going to take the blame, the heat. No. Shift into personal power by asking yourself, what can I do now? What do I still have control over? We shift into personal power. Past blame thinking is, it's all my fault, they ruined my life, if they had just, then I'd be okay, I should have, all the shoulds. I can't move forward until someone apologizes to me. I'll never heal unless they understand what I did. Should I contact them and try to get closure? You are just worried about what you cannot control. Their perceptions, what they're going to say, what they have to say to you, what you have to say to them. It's a bunch of stuff that you can't control. Focus on what you do control. Focus on what you do control. And yeah, you reach out to them, you're going to get hurt. They're either going to ghost you, run away, block you, do all the things that they already did, or they're going to fight you. That's what you're going to get when you try to defend yourself to someone who's maligning you and slandering you. So instead of saying, they did this to me, you say, here's what I choose to do now. Instead of, they did this to me, you say, here's what I choose to do now. Here's my choice. You see how that's taking actual responsibility for your life. You got to release the past. Everything in the past, I like to think of the past as being frozen in ice. Just like crystallized, like you can't change it. It's just there. So that's why there's no value in putting energy into the past. So waiting for justice? No. That's in the past. Don't bother. Waiting for an apology? No. Waiting for someone to return who left you? Don't do that. Replaying what happened? Don't do that. Going back, trying to figure out where you went wrong? Don't do that. Don't put your energy there. Feeling like a victim? Don't do that. Trying to prove your worth to someone? Don't do that. trying to do a glow up online and try to make them jealous by who you're with or what you're doing. Don't do that. Beating yourself up, don't do that. Don't put energy into the past, into other people's thoughts, perceptions, and feelings. Put the energy into what you actually control. Self-compassion, self-love. Self-love, how do we do that? Do you guys remember? We've talked about this over the past few days, how to love ourselves. To love ourselves, we treat ourselves the way we would treat a child that is in our care. So if something happened to your child, a child that's in your care, would you blame that child? Would you say, well, here's where you went wrong? It's not the best approach, is it? It's better to show the child compassion for what they're going through right now. And extract the lessons. It's good to learn lessons from the past, but not good to blame. Does that make sense? So instead of, I'm so stupid for choosing him, self-compassion, it's not my fault that he chose to leave. And then you can find lessons in the past. I think next time I won't invest as much up front. I think next time I'll use vetting instead of dating. Learn lessons. Learn lessons. But don't just stay in trauma, extremes. I can never trust another human. I can never trust another man. Those are extremes. Don't do that. Learn valuable lessons, actual strategy, relationship skills that you can take into your future. Next time I'll be more well-boundaried. Next time I'll be more assertive. So that's day 7, law 7. Never be concerned with past blame. Be concerned with future responsibility. So we'll open it up for questions, thoughts, comments. If you have questions about healing from trauma, especially avoidant discard, breakup, being discarded or devalued by a narcissist, now's your opportunity. If you want to come up and use your voice and talk, you can use the multi-guest feature down below to do that. So I'm not going to blame myself for behaving crazy. Correct. Correct. You're a human. It happened. You did what you did. You said what you said. You're a grown-up. We're moving forward. Future responsibility. What do I have power over now? After I watch your lives, my mind has already switched. Thank you for your time. If you feel the mental switch, you'll feel the emotional switch. The emotional switch gets you into more stability and nervous system regulation. You may already notice you're not in as much pain and as much anxiety. What if it's your fault they left? How do you deal with the guilt? No, Timothy. No, Timothy. Mathematically, Timothy, it cannot be your fault that another person acts. What another person does with their body cannot be your responsibility. What another person, they're an adult in the relationship, so what they did has to be their choice. It cannot be your fault. You cannot handle or take all of the blame. Things in life are nuanced. So they did what they did. They chose to leave. They chose to leave. If you're saying, what if I did something wrong? How do I handle the guilt? Well, analyze, is there justification? Write down a list, 5 things on a piece of paper as to why you're justified for doing what you did, and that will lower the guilt. Why it's understandable that you did what you did, and that will lower the guilt. 5 things on a piece of paper. Do the exercise. I love these kind of conversations. First time here, hit the follow, hit subscribe, and lock in with me. This is what we do. We heal here together. May you speak on smear campaigns. A smear campaign is where a narcissist or a toxic person goes and tells other people lies about you to control the people's perception and turn people against you. Or they tell the truth about you, but it's like something negative and defamatory and exaggerated. Either way, it can feel very devastating to see people turn on you. However, you shouldn't focus on what you can't control. And since you can't control the smear campaign, you shouldn't focus on that. And since you can't control the people who turn against you, you shouldn't focus on them either. So when there's a smear campaign, you should cut off your contact with anyone you believe is infected by that smear campaign or who is a part of it. And then you focus on your purpose and you build a new tribe, because your new tribe will be attracted to you while you're in your purpose. How do I catch up on prior lives? I'll be posting these on YouTube, I think. I'm having a hard time with stages of grief. I find myself anger and ruminating. I can't get past it. Yeah, you're not God, Nicole. You're not God. So your anger is not righteous. So check yourself and recognize that in your imperfection, your anger comes from a sense of self-righteousness that's not appropriate. You're over-inflating your own self-righteousness. Also, your anger is useless because it's an action emotion which is giving you adrenaline, but you don't have anything to do with the adrenaline. It's not time to act. So, instead of anger, figure out what's underneath of your anger. And instead of ruminating, use a propitious question to stop your rumination. Yeah, he's blaming the cheating on my reactive abuse, and I feel awful about it, but I know the truth. Then focus on the truth instead of focusing on the lie. Like what you did is you just wrote out the lie, thereby giving more energy to the lie. He thinks this. That's the lie. Don't give energy to the lie. Don't focus on the lie. Focus on the truth. Write out the truth. If you're going to write me anything, write what really happened. See what I'm saying? Get your mind focused on the truth and you'll feel better. It was hard, and I still have spells, but I kept saying my ancestors protect, guide, and love me. That's beautiful, but you should get into personal power. I protect, guide, and love myself. Get into personal power. Don't just keep it in the spirit realm only. Your lives help me more than you know. Look forward to them. Yes, true. I left him, but I want to check on him. I'm friends with his friends and family. Should I distance myself from them? You don't have to distance yourself from friends and family. You just have to distance yourself from him. So if they try to talk to you about him, you say, I'm not interested in that. I'm here to hang out with you. If they're really your friends, then be friends with just them. And tell them you're not interested in hearing about this other person. But distance yourself from him. No, you shouldn't check up on him at all. Okay, what about if you kick them out? What about it? I was very down right now, but I came across you. And now you're feeling better already. Does avoidant automatically mean narcissist? No, it never means narcissist. I find myself struggling with whether or not their love was ever real after 5 years invested. It was real, Bianca. Stop worrying about what someone else is thinking and feeling. It was real for them. Now what? Now, you feel better? Yeah, momentarily, but it doesn't heal anything. Get focused on your feelings. Are you real? Were your feelings real? What are you feeling now? Where do you want to go? What is your purpose? What do you want to do? Stop worrying about, was it real 5 years? We don't. What are you going to do with that information? Where are you going to go with it? You're going to write a book? You can't do anything with someone else's thoughts and feelings. It's pointless trying to get perfect understanding of something you can never have perfect understanding of. Najma, don't copy paste your comments. My grandma is on a smear campaign against me, 2 siblings. How should I manage? You cut off anyone that smears you and anyone you believe is infected by the smear campaign. So cut your siblings off until they come back to you with the right attitude. If FAX still has access to my socials, would removing him give him an excuse to stay distant? Focus not on what he's gonna do. If I do this, will he stay distant? That's worrying about other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Focus on what you need. Do you need him cut off or not? Do you need it or not? Focus on what you need. instead of what's going to trigger him to make him do the no more of that. We're done with that. You live in your truth, in your reality, and for what you need. Take care of yourself. What to do when my husband ignores me? You express with assertiveness your standards or boundaries. If he does not follow your standards or boundaries, then you need to enforce them. When someone doesn't respect your standards or boundaries, you have to enforce them. What about if you kick them out because of what they did? What about it? Yes, it's very painful and devastating. I don't know the context of what you're asking me. What are you asking me? What if I kick them out? Okay, what about it? What's your question? I'm assuming you kick someone out, so what about it? Are they narcissistic people and avoidant? No, avoidants are not narcissists. They are trauma survivors that are unhealed. My ex did smear campaign me, but to my family with the things I vented to him about. Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah. They like to take information that's somewhat true. Feels like he's the burnt out pursuer. He's acting weirdly now. I want to ghost, but I feel bad. Don't focus on how he feels. Focus on what you need, what you feel. Do a justifications list 5 reasons why you would be justified in, you wouldn't be ghosting because you're already gone, but if you're saying block him or something or stop talking to him, write down why you'd be justified. Write down the pros and cons, but focus on for you. Don't worry about, he has to manage his own feelings and thoughts. That's not your responsibility. Najma, please do not copy paste the same question over and over. So what if I did wrong to me? I forgive myself when I don't take responsibility for his actions. Correct. If what he did, if what you did was wrong to you, you work on self-forgiveness and you don't take responsibility for his actions. That's correct. I was so down. You are calming. Thank you. You're welcome. I feel horrible since my son is 3 and is singing songs for his dad to come. Dad is so toxic. Yeah, but you can't control that. You can redirect your son. Focus on what you have control on. Do a control list. Husband said awful words to me. I told him if it happens again, I'm not staying. I am weak for staying. No, you're incongruent for saying something you're going to do without knowing that you're going to actually back it up. What are you trying to do? Control someone else and control their actions? Don't do that. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. Hell or high water. You never go back on your word. And therefore, you don't say or promise you're going to do something if you're not actually ready to back it up. Keep your mouth shut. It's strict here. I love it. Yeah. I've stopped trying to understand right after I said something strict. I've stopped trying to understand certain things, especially their actions. Good. That's good. It's normal to have rejection sensitivity where we're human. Also, forget them. Yeah, but it's normal to have certain things, but it doesn't mean it's healthy to stay in that. And rejection sensitivity is one of them. So you have to immediately flip the rejection sensitivity to why it's good to be rejected, why it's good to be rejected by them, what's good about this, why it's okay. Wow, I'm going to start following you. Thank you. I've been working really hard for your follow. I'm glad that I got it. If you guys aren't following me and you're just chilling up in my live, tap the follow button. It would mean a lot to me. And it would be helpful to you because then you'd get more of my content. You won't just have to wait for the algorithm to magically push me to you. Should you ask a dismissive avoidant spouse to get professional help? He has moments of self-awareness. You can ask him to get help, of course. But it's up to him. I mean, you can't control him. You can just ask people to do stuff. You can ask people to do stuff. I wanted to know if he really loved me after abandoning me, but coming back, he ignored the question. Yeah, he probably loved you at some point, but what does that do for you? What good is that? What good is it if someone loves you but they mistreat you? Focus on the treatment. Does it fit your standards? Does he actually meet your standards? If not, he's not qualified to be with you. If he's not qualified to be with you, it's time to go. Snip, zip, cut them off. How do you enforce boundaries? You enforce boundaries by removing access to your resources. You enforce boundaries by removing access to your resources. Your resources are your beauty, your body, your talents, your time, your energy, your money, your house, your dog, your cat, so everything you own is your resources. You remove access to your resources. That's how you enforce your boundaries. Walk away or kick them out. We share the same friends, can't avoid. Najma, by the way, I haven't heard from you on what about kicking them out. Can't avoid, and I see him with new girlfriend. How can I control emotions? Avoid and stop saying I can't avoid. Oh, we share the same friends. Okay, cut them off. Do a better job of avoiding that person. In terms of seeing him, like let's say you do accidentally see him with someone else, tell yourself, why is this a good thing? What's good about it? And get focused on your purpose. He's already gone, obviously. He doesn't belong to you, so what's the point of you having any feeling about it? He doesn't belong to you. So ask yourself, what's good about this? And then focus on your purpose. A guy tells you be cool as a cucumber, but stop chasing after the same group of friends. You don't need these people. You need to focus on your purpose in life. You need purpose. A guy tells you his actions are due to trauma since he was young. He's struggling. Do you stay? Focus on his actions. It doesn't matter what it's due to. What's the actions? Do the actions meet your standards of how you want to be treated? If they don't, cut them off. I'm lat to the chat. What is the law for today? Law number 7, never be concerned with past blame, be concerned with future responsibility. Bianca says, it seems like avoidance have the potential for healing and repair where narcissists don't. You would be correct, Bianca. Avoidance have the potential for healing and repair. Narcissists do not. How can I tell? Narcissists are consistently lacking empathy and consistently lacking accountability. Avoidance fluctuate based on how they're feeling. Avoidant left and got a rebound, then 3 months later, she back, act like all okay, I freak out, and she block. Story of your life. Thank you for sharing the biography. So as an avoidant, the focus should be on self-forgiveness and healing. So if you're an avoidant, your focus should be on never doing anything in fear and learning to do everything in love. Never do anything out of fear. Learn to do everything out of love. Stop allowing fear to control you. You are not a squirrel. He got mad because I said I would date other people since he didn't have time. Well, thank you for sharing. I mean, he has a right to have whatever feelings he wants to have, right? And you have a right to date whoever you want, right? So, thanks for sharing your story. Words with no actions doesn't work with narcissists. Nothing works with narcissists. What are you talking about, Angel? Nothing works with narcissists. They're evil people. Let them go. What is your YouTube channel? At Roman Zanoni. Literally put the at side, put Roman Zanoni on YouTube. Experienced emotional abuse with him. Seek the emotional comfort elsewhere. I'm the villain in his eyes. Yeah, you are. We're all the villain in someone's story. You realize that. You realize we're all the villain in someone's story, right? You think I'm not the villain in someone's story? Look at the way I'm stroking my chin. That's so villain-like. Everybody's the villain in somebody's story. What are you talking about? It's part of the deal. The world is split. It's divided. We live in a divided world. We don't live in a harmonious world. Ex-husband, narcissist, is saying that I kept all the money from our business, lie, after 4 years. Yeah, Maria, you didn't have to put that it was a lie. Everything a narcissist says is a lie. Everything a narcissist says is a manipulation to gain status over you. Everything a narcissist says is a manipulation to gain status over you. Every single thing. They don't say anything. if it's not a manipulation, to get status over you. Everything. Everything. If they ask for peanut M&Ms from the grocery store, it's a status. This is a manipulation to get status over you. They don't speak if they are not jockeying for power and status. The name calling can be so draining even after leaving, but can't block them because I have a child. Well, you consult a lawyer about that because maybe you can block them. Find out what the law is in your case. Everyone follow him. He's very knowledgeable. Thank you, Synergy Longevity Society. What's so good to her man wasn't perfect, but so healthy. She discarded me and gave me a page of reasons. Okay. I was so good to her, man. I got it. Wasn't perfect, but so healthy. She discarded me. Oh, yeah, that's an avoidant, bro. You know, most women are anxious or avoidant. You realize that, sir. So this is normal. This is par for the course. Yeah. She gave you a page of reasons, though. Think about how most avoidants leave without any communication. She let you know how she was devaluing you. Check the list. If there's anything valuable, take it. If it's all a bunch of nonsense, throw it in the trash. Don't worry about it. Not one time did she ever apologize for hurting me. Yeah, that welcome you to the chat. Make sure you hit follow. You're in the right group. That's the avoidant discard, my friend. Yeah. I was tormented for years and finally, after realizing history repeats itself, ended it 2 years ago. Yeah, good. Glad you figured that out. I'm learning so much. Thank you, Dr. Roman. Just Roman is fine. I have subscribed, really needed the wisdom and the straight talking. Things aren't always black and white. Some things qualify, some don't. How to decide. Does the person qualify or not? You are a interviewer at a company and they are a candidate. So do they fit the qualifications or not? That's your decision to make as the interviewer, the HR director of the company. Thank you. I needed that. I'm going to keep my mouth shut unless I follow through. I need to look at it's really important that we're congruent with our words, right? You have to have congruence with your words. That was the best definition of how to enforce boundaries I've ever heard. Yeah, I know. You're going to get a lot of the best you've ever heard over here. This is what we do. hit the follow and enroll in my healing school. Is leaving someone because of their financial situation a bad thing? It's up to your standards, Africa. What is Africa's standards? What are your standards? Do you care about the financial situation? Some people do, some people don't. There is no right and wrong out in the universe for you to go find for someone else to tell you what is right for you. You decide what's right for you. Can an avoidant have a covert narc tendencies? No, it's just the way you're reading the avoidant. Like, oh, it's kind of like a covert narcissist. Yeah, it's similar, but it's not what a covert narcissist is. It just looks similar because, like a covert narcissist, they love bomb. And like a covert narcissist, you can't see it coming. And then like a covert narcissist, they devalue you, discard you, and make you feel like nothing. But they're not a covert narcissist. They learn from the best. They were raised by narcissists. They were abused. They were neglected. They were abandoned. They were treated horribly. Treated horribly growing up. And they had to learn to survive. So they learned to survive in a narcissistic environment. But they are not narcissists. They are not consistently cruel. And they do have the capability to take responsibility and act and to heal. So therefore, they're not a narcissist. She said she needs separation after 17 years. Focus on what you still have and what you can control. Make a list. I'm dead serious. Bianca followed the live creator. Thank you, Bianca. Do you think going back to someone with a traumatic past will ruin your life or it will work again? It's not about someone's past. Who cares what happened in the past? What matters is who they are now and who they'll be in the future. You can only go by what you see in the present. So based on the present, do they qualify? Do they meet your standards? Do they respect your boundaries? That's what you need to be checking on. What is the easiest way to spot a narcissist, please? Enforce your boundaries. Assert your boundaries, rather. Assert your boundaries. Then you'll spot the narcissist the fastest, being assertive. Assert standards and boundaries. That's the fastest way to spot a narcissist. My husband discarded me after 10 years, blindsided. I had no idea we had issues. No communication. Yeah, welcome. Welcome to being discarded. Yeah, out of nowhere. He didn't know how to express his boundaries and standards. There was no way you could make it work with a man like that. He needs to heal his trauma. The way you were making it work was by walking on a lot of eggshells and avoiding a lot of deep conversation. That's how you made it work. Which makes you toxic, by the way, because you failed to set boundaries and be assertive and to assert your boundaries. And that's why your relationship lasted that long. You lasted because you were toxic and avoidant with an avoidant, and you guys were both avoiding the truth, and then finally he did what he was going to do. Ideally, you would have got him to do that after 10 days or 10 weeks instead of doing what you just did for 10 years. I'm ready to embrace my villain era. I don't endorse becoming a villain. Not in your eyes. You should never be a villain in your eyes. It's just that you're always going to be someone else's villain. Why they can't be fixed going to therapy? Avoidance can be fixed going to therapy, but they have to want to. Why do they lie so much? Because they're pathological liars. It was a skill they learned in order to survive in childhood because they weren't safe to tell their parents the truth. How to get over not having closure with an avoidant? You have to get rid of this idea of closure. It's a made-up concept. What does that even mean? What is closure? If you explain it, what does that mean? Well, you're going to have some explanation for what closure is. Like, I'm going to talk to them and they're going to say what? What is going to give you the closure? Is it you talking to them and telling them something? Then you're worried about their thoughts and feelings. Is it that you will need to hear something from them? Well, then you're not providing that to yourself. So your closure doesn't come from them. It comes from stop worrying about what someone else is thinking and start providing what you need for you. It doesn't come from another person. My fearful avoidant works with me. I'm detached, but she always uses work to get me back and then disappears again. Yeah, she's got you figured out there. Got you in a little trap. It doesn't sound like you're as detached as you're trying to make yourself out to be if she's getting back with you whenever she wants. So what you need to do is set boundaries. It's like, if you want to get back together, you have to do this, this, and this first. When she can't follow through with that, then you're safe. The boundaries are what keep you safe. I'm in no contact with my ex for 6 months. The first 4 months I was feeling good, but the last 2 months I feel terrible. Yeah, there's nothing magical about no contact. There's so much more to do. Physically, no contact is good. That's a good start. Now you need to be in mental no contact, which you're not in. You need to be in emotional no contact. And you need to be inside of my healing program. You need to come to my meetings. Like, you got to do the actual work. Start with a devaluation list. What's the main difference between an avoidant and a narcissist? Narcissists are cruel consistently, and they lack empathy and accountability. Avoidants fluctuate based on their emotions. Should you wait for or give a man a chance in the future who chooses to end things and upgrade himself? No, you should never wait for anybody. Don't wait. I mean, unless it was like a mutual agreement, right? Like, hey, would you mind waiting? I'm going to run over here and go take care of some business. I'll be back. Yeah. But if it's just they left you and it wasn't a mutual breakup, you don't wait. You immediately get open for new connections, make connections with people, get into your healing program, change your address, like do whatever you're going to do in your life with disregard for the person who disregarded you. What makes someone anxious attached? The inconsistency of their caregiver when they were growing up. Sometimes the caregiver was loving, sometimes the caregiver was cold, harsh, distant, punishing, abandoning, and so that they develop a fear of emotional abandonment, and now they're constantly trying to find their footing with people, and they're desperate for connection, and then they become avoidant at times because they get overwhelmed as well. You are amazing. Thanks. Found someone that doesn't run when I treat them well. Feels good. Joey, say it again. Found someone that doesn't run when I treat them well. Let's give a hand to Joey. That means it is possible. Let's hang in there, folks. There are humans that don't run. If you don't run, then there's other humans that don't run. That's what we need. We need the sitters and the stayers. I got rejected, but he gonna still text me. It's tiring. You have the ability to block if you don't want to be receiving text messages from this person. How to deal with someone who's a fearful avoidant. Set strong boundaries and let them hit your boundaries and run away. Set strong boundaries, such as, hey, you can never do anything out of fear. You must always make sure all of your actions are out of love. If you ever do anything out of fear, we're done. Unless you apologize immediately for it and fix it. When they can't live up to that, then you have your answer. It feels like they end up giving you the same preferential treatment they received from their parents. Yeah. Feminista. Correct. To be honest, I feel sorry for people that disappear without contact. I have no respect for them. Yeah. I can understand why you feel that way. You've taught me to stop trying to focus on the reason for the mistreatment. Yes. Recognize that the avoidant discard is mistreatment, the narcissist evaluation is mistreatment, and don't worry about the reason. The reason is really not all that profound. It's because that's the type of person they are. They did as they are. They're just showing you what and who they are. It's a sneak preview. Hey, if you want more of this for the next 10 years, stick around. That's all. Don't worry about the why. Just worry about the what. Did they do it? Does this meet my standards? Then I'm out. If it doesn't meet your standards, which it doesn't. Spoiler alert. Is that my job to manage them? It's my job to heal. It's definitely overrated. Why is self-forgiveness hard? Probably because you're not good at forgiving. You're not a good forgiver. Forgiveness is a skill. And if you practice forgiving other people, then it's easier to forgive yourself because you're a forgiving person and you forgive other people. So first of all, practice the skill. Then learn to see yourself as a whole person. If you've got the skill, you say, Roman, I got the skill. I'm really forgiving of everyone. Then the problem is that you're not seeing yourself. That's why self-forgiveness is hard. You don't recognize yourself as a person. By closure, I meant he couldn't have ended it with me as opposed to being a coward and disappearing. By closure, I meant he couldn't have ended it with me as opposed... Yeah, ended it with you. What does that mean? Ended it with you. What do you want? What do you want him to do? I'm challenging this closure thing. Like, what do you want him to do? To not be a coward? You want a coward to not be a coward? Hey, call that one coward up and tell him to stop being cowardly. What is it going to do for you? This is not even realistic. What you're asking for doesn't exist. You want a chicken to fly. It's not what he does. Hi, Cynthia Davis. Welcome to the chat. Dating a therapist, but I'm starting to think maybe he's an avoidant. Any dating tips? Yeah, I mean, if he's a therapist, then he's familiar with communication. So set some clear boundaries for him as to what you would like to see. And allow yourself to see how he responds to your boundaries. That's what will tell you what you need to know. How can you tell if your relationship is abusive? If you are being mistreated, then you are being abused, and then the relationship is abusive. If you're mistreating them, then they're being abused, and the relationship is abusive. That's how you can tell. Is anybody being mistreated? That's how you know a relationship is abusive. Can avoidant be someone that wants to talk very much, but are not open to enough and lies? They're not open enough and lies? Yeah, a lot of times they would like to be able to communicate, but they're not open and they lie. Yeah, that can be an avoidant. My dismissive avoidant husband always packs and leaves our house whenever we're having an argument. Sounds pretty avoidant of him. Can a fearful avoidant heal and become secure? Yes, they can, but they got to do it on their own. You can't do it for them. So in the meantime, don't wait. You get to work healing your own stuff. How to deal with a man who is afraid of communication. Stay away from him. Absolutely stay away from a man who is afraid of communication. A man who's afraid of communication is a dangerous man. That'd be like a world superpower who never used diplomacy. They were afraid of diplomacy. They only used military might. Very, very, very scary. He's a dangerous man. Stay away from him. If a fearful avoidant after 2 months, she is intimate, either guy, another. If fearful avoidant after 2 months. Man, you didn't write that even in any type of coherent English. How to deal with constantly being dismissed and disregarded by a dismissive avoidant. I have anxious attachment. Set your boundaries and stop going into the same cycle of being dismissed and disregarded. Set your boundaries. I don't like when you do this. Then see how they respond. They're going to dismiss you and disregard you. And now you're going to let them go because they don't meet your boundaries and standards. You never let them come back until they meet your standards. I really like your book. It makes things clear to see everything in black and white. Yeah, get the book. 12 Laws of Healing is the workbook. And my other book, the healing book, is Mind, M-I-N-D, by Roman Zanoni. 12 Laws of Healing Journal is the healing journal where you can write in and do all the activities. A little bit each day and you will heal. After every little disagreement, he threatens to end the marriage or throw me out. I will beg. Then it sounds like you don't like to learn from the past. You just like to repeat the past. You're even repeating the past to me instead of learning the lesson. What's the lesson, Bonwell? What's the lesson? What do you think is the lesson you can learn instead of just redoing the same thing every time? What's a lesson you can learn? They have common thing like leaving the country in the same country. I have no idea what that means. My husband just passed away, but I don't want to be alone. When you have something, when you're in a reality, there's no value in saying and focusing on how you don't want that reality. There's value in pursuing what you desire, but there's no value in sitting in the I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. And that's what you're doing with the I don't want to be alone. Like if you are single and then you're saying I don't want to be single, that's not helpful. So instead, create a list of why it's beneficial to be single. What's good about being single? So you could shift your perception. You already are single, so there's no benefit in talking about how terrible it is for you and how you don't want it. You already are. So focus on what's good about it, and you'll feel better. Roman, you are clocking major T today. I love it. I would say thank you if I understood what that meant. I gave understanding. If I was Gen Z or, I don't know, a girl, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand the lingo. I gave her understanding. She was surprised, but not enough to remain. Yeah. That's not, giving an avoidant woman understanding is not going to make her remain with you. Not the therapist being an avoidant. Wow. Yeah, a lot of therapists are unhealed. They got into it because maybe they wanted to learn how to heal, but they never actually heal. They just start working on other people. I guess I didn't know he was a coward. I accepted it. Moving on. Yeah, now you know. He's a coward, so you know what I mean? That is your closure. Like, oh, he's a coward. That's what the point of the dating was. Like, I need to find out what this person is. You're welcome, Dakota. Now you know. Done. That's your closure. Like, oh, he's a coward. That's not what you want. That's not what you're looking for. My ex, fearful avoidant, just moved on a dating app. I'm sorry, has just liked me on a dating app. We had a great relationship, 12 weeks out. Confusing. Just set boundaries and you can set some obstacles before you can come back. That the boundaries are what will keep you safe. If I wanted to marry right after my husband's death is a crime, don't want to be alone. If I wanted to marry right after my husband's death, a crime. I don't know what you're exactly trying to say. That it's a crime if you wanted to marry? In other people's eyes? Is that what you're saying? Like other people will give you a hard time? Stop saying I don't want to be alone. You already are alone, so there's no point. And stop calling it alone. Call it single. Can you please a bit more for the person that doesn't want to communicate? Why is so scary? Oh, the man, he's a man, but he doesn't communicate. So he's like a country that doesn't use diplomacy. So he only knows war. He's a man, but he doesn't communicate. So he only knows war. He only knows fight, flight, freeze, fawn. He's dangerous. He only knows survival. He doesn't know how to thrive in life, how to connect with humans. That's dangerous. Get away from him. Right away. Tell him to take some classes or something. Tell him to enroll in my program. But you can't be around a man. He's a man. Men are dangerous by nature. They are killing machines. We have 3 times the physical strength on average of a woman. So if he doesn't have certain key things, then you are in danger. If you're with a man, this is for anyone here, I'm not just talking about her. If you're with a man and he doesn't have love, along with that empathy, compassion, you're in danger. If he doesn't have morals, ethics, values, you're in danger. If he doesn't display self-control, if he doesn't have the ability to communicate, mitigate, negotiate for what he wants, you're in danger. You're just sitting there next to someone who can kill you with their bare hands, and he lacks all the basic things he needs to keep that under control. You're in danger. Also, if he doesn't love God. You guys are brave going with these people. I got dumped by an avoidant and she doesn't care about me. She's leaving me in peace. What should I do? Well, come to the 12 days of healing that we're doing here because we're talking every day about different aspects of healing. First thing you need to do is your devaluation list so you can get out of your focus, the hyper focus that you have on how important she was, and you can get that organized to realize that she's not the most important thing in the entire universe, and you can get refocused on yourself, which is going to be your purpose and your self-care. Is healing a lifelong process? Not when you do it with me, not when you do it my way. My ex is fearful avoidant. She's leaving the country. She is intimate with a guy, and that guy goes with her. Keyword, your ex. So that's like the end of the conversation. Like, why are we talking about your ex? My ex fearful avoidant split because of an existential crisis, liked me on a dating app. Yeah, like you said, like I just said, the last person, keyword X, set up your boundaries to keep yourself safe. Yesterday you said something that was really helpful. He did not choose you. Yeah, it's real stuff. Think about the reality of that. You could do anything in the world and doing whatever he's doing right now. He's not choosing you. Do you think being ghosted is a manipulation? No, not always. Sometimes. A lot of times when avoidance ghosts you, they're not trying to manipulate you. They're trying to make themselves feel safe and feel better and take control over things they're not supposed to be trying to control. That has resonated with me. Thank you. Good. How do I date without becoming attached too quickly? Don't date. Vet. Ask questions simultaneously to multiple people. Keep track on a piece of paper. Create a chart. Keep it business-like. Don't spend a lot of time up in their face or looking at them and falling for them. Focus on the purpose of what it is you're actually trying to do, which is find the person who truly qualifies to be with you. How long has it been since his passing? I don't think you're talking to me. My husband can be very rude and mean to me sometimes, even in front of family. I don't know what to do. Set very firm boundaries. Be very assertive in explaining what it is you need him to change. If he's unable to meet your standards, then you need to enforce your boundaries. You said you already talked to him, but he doesn't stop. It's time to enforce your boundaries. How to reframe the shameful idea of becoming a single mom. Well, chances are if you became a single mom, and it sounds like it wasn't by choice, then why would it be shameful? You'd have to tell me in your next comment, tell me being a single mom is shameful because, and then tell me why it's shameful when in reality it was never your choice. Someone else didn't fulfill their end of the bargain with you. So help me to understand why that is shameful. What is your take on dating apps? It doesn't matter where you find a person. There's nothing wrong with finding a person on a dating app. What matters is how you go about vetting people. If you're just gonna, the dumbest thing you can do, especially for the ladies, is see a guy who looks handsome on a dating app, send him a like or something or whatever you do on there, and then he gets in contact, and then you guys talk, and then you go out with him, and then next thing you know, you're like sleeping with this guy. That's like the dumbest thing you can do. I'm sorry, that's like a misuse of the dating app. It's not good strategy. So the way to properly use it is set up your profile. If you're a lady, you set up your profile and you let them come to you. And then whoever you attract from the people that you attract, you go through. And if you don't like them, you X them out. But if you want them or you're interested in finding out more, then you vet them. They come into your vetting process. And multiple people at the same time, you're sending them messages that are asking them questions to get to know them. It's a vetting process. That's how you properly use the dating app. And then you're going to go and meet and do FaceTimes, and first do a phone call, then do a FaceTime, then go out and meet. But in the whole time you're vetting. Don't just hurry up and go have dinner with people and put yourself in situations where you're alone with a guy. Don't go do that. My ex silent, and I just blocked him. You can learn more about this in the Femininity Masterclass, where I go into detail in all of this. Obviously, I can't go into detail on the strategies for dating as a woman here, but how to get it done and how to get that engagement ring and how to get married and how to perform in a marriage and all that stuff is inside the Femininity Masterclass. My ex went silent and I just blocked him. I couldn't take the games any longer. Good for you for setting your boundary, or at least enforcing it. I'm so glad you said it. A man can hurt a woman if she's not aware and prepared. No, it's not about you being aware and prepared. It's about you vetting properly for the type of person that you're around. You don't want to be around a man that lacks the basic things he needs to temper his physical strength. My daughter's boyfriend doesn't say what he feels except when angry. Then he's abusive. Your daughter is in danger. She's in danger. If he doesn't love God, the only God I recognize is me. I'm spiritual. What if he doesn't believe in Jesus just like me? Okay, well, let's think about this, Lady C. Hi, Lady C, let's date. So, do you believe in God? No, I believe in myself. I am God. Okay, what about you? Yeah, well, I believe in myself. I believe I'm God. Okay. Are you safe? Are you safe with a man that believes he is God? Just think about that, Lady C. Process it. Let it simmer. Let it simmer. Pour yourself a glass of tea. Open up the window. Look out at the horizon. Just sip your tea and just think. Am I safe with a man who thinks he's God? Am I safe with a man who answers to no one but himself? No higher power outside of himself. He's 3 times my physical strength. He can strangle me with one hand. I have nightmares and psychosis. My ex was narcissist. He was abusive, domestic relationship. I'm very sorry to hear that. Yeah, I hope you got away from him. I got approached by a young man, 28 years younger, acted really compassionate and caring. Okay, what about it? I can't believe a man in his late 60s goes, he needs to grow up. Oh man, the age situations have entered the chat here. And Miss Honey, you're 28 years younger than him probably, aren't you? Oh no, you might be a little more up there. That's very funny. You look good though, you look young. I instinctively did a devaluation list without even knowing it was a recognized method. Saved me. Awesome. Good work. What's the difference between an avoidant man and giving someone time to open up? Well, you did give the avoidant time to open up. He ran away. If he's running away, then you don't give them time to open up. If they're sitting there and they're just a little clammy, then you can give them time while they're sitting there. But if they leave the relationship, then you don't give them time. You move forward. Don't wait for anyone who's left the relationship. What if a man is with you 2.5 years, then goes back to his ex? Well, then it sounds like you guys are not together anymore, and you should move forward with your life. And be rest assured that now you found out that he is not the one that's going to be able to be your forever mate. And next time, vet instead of date. So you don't have to waste 2 years on finding out that he's trash. But that can happen to anyone still. Even if you did vet him and then you dated, that is the risk of relationships. He could have been perfect. And then he can still go and do that. So once they do that, then you go, oh, you pack your bags and you go. I just ended it with my fearful avoidant. We engaged, but she kept shutting down on Sunday. She said she needs to work on herself. She's been very distant. I can't anymore. My heart is more than broken. Okay. So she's a fearful avoidant. That means that she doesn't have the skills that's needed to be your queen. Fearful avoidants are not in their queen status. They're in scared, afraid, skittish squirrel status. They're not in their queen mode. So she has to first level herself up to become queen status, and then you can be with her, or you have to go and be with a woman who's in her queen status. She understands how to be a queen, which is to express her needs and boundaries within the relationship and get them met instead of run away. So unfortunately, you have to recognize she does not qualify, sir, and you need to move on. I dive deep into religion, prayer, trusting God for healing, but it doesn't feel like it's working. Well, what do you want God to do that he hasn't done for you? That's what I would like to know. Because it comes off as like the opposite of trust. If you say, I trust you, but it doesn't feel like it's working. Like, so then you're not waiting, therefore you're not trusting. You're coming to a conclusion that it's not working, therefore you're doubting, therefore you're not trusting, you're not having faith. Doubt is the opposite of faith. Is this the same person who said that they are the God? I'm not going to go back, but if you're the same person who said you are the God, I'm glad to hear you're trying to explore it, but you do need actual faith. Like just saying, oh, I tried it, it's not working. It's like, no, like it's a real person. Like you can't just play them like that. You have to actually let them do their job and you do your job. Play your role. He's the God, not you. Needs to work on herself. She's been very distant. Yeah. What if you attract them all, but they never turn out well? They are men once they get you. They're mean once they get you. Yeah, don't generalize all people. Just continue to vet through people, vet through them. You're taking a few situations and then saying, oh, this is my pattern. This is what it keeps happening to me. You haven't found the one. That's all. You're looking for someone. It's not, your dating is not about keeping who you got. It's about finding the one that's worthy of being kept, the one that meets all of your standards. Being a single mom is shameful because it means my marriage failed, so I'm a failure. That's cognitive distortion. A marriage failing doesn't mean I'm a failure, so that's just completely false. So you just made a totally false statement. Being a single mom means my marriage failed. It means that the marriage failed, but there's multiple ways for a marriage to fail, is there not? Doesn't it take two to tango? So there's another person there. You can't say that if a marriage fails, I'm a failure. Not at all. Because my marriage failed, which I've never said in my life. That's the weirdest way of putting it. But I'm not a failure. I was an amazing husband. Were you an amazing wife? Stand in your truth, in your morality, in your power. Stop framing it as a failure. If you did your job and you were a good woman, then you did your job and you were a good woman, there's no shame. Walk with pride. Put your chest out and carry your child and raise your child. There's no shame. You have not shown me any basis, any true basis for shame. Just cognitive distortion, which is untrue ways of thinking. Definitely not safe with a man believes in God. Look at Diddy. Diddy doesn't believe in God. What are you talking about? Diddy is a sociopath. What are you talking about? He's faking. You realize he fakes that stuff. He doesn't believe in God. Like, yeah, he knows there's a God because he worships the devil. Like, what? That's not what I mean by believe in God. Like, the devil believes in God. Like, that's not what I mean. What are you talking about? I said loves God. I specifically said loves God. You know what? I don't appreciate you twisting my words. I specifically said a man that loves God. And you twisted my words with that. I don't appreciate that. You do that again and I block you. My ex that I haven't been able to get over just won a Grammy. I want to be happy for him. Is that Kendrick Lamar? Are you Whitney? Your ex won a Grammy. You want to be... I haven't been able to get over. I want to be happy for him, but... And then I'm still hurt he left me even though I did wrong. I'm not as mature as I want to be. Yeah, you're a mess. A total mess. You inserted unnecessary information about your ex winning a Grammy. And then on top of it, you said you want to be happy for him. There's no reason you can't be happy for him, but you're hurt that he left, even though you're the one who did wrong. What? Like what? What are you doing? I would be happy for you where there's something that has nothing to do with me, so I could definitely be happy for you. There's no reason I can't be happy you won a Grammy, but I can't because I'm hurt you left, even though I'm the one who hurt you first. So even though I know why you left, and I think you're justified for leaving, I'm still hurt you did. I'm hurt you did something healthy. So you're mad that your ex was healthy. You're toxic, man. That's toxic. You need to heal your trauma. Sorry, I'm somewhere in a jungle and there's mosquitoes in here. Gotta defend myself. He threatened to kill the family. I'm embarrassed. I feel like a loser. I couldn't fix it. Wow, what a detrimental way of framing that. That's mental illness right there. If someone threatened to kill the family, then they're the loser. And you can't fix someone else. That's ridiculous. Please don't talk like that or think like that. I sit in your healing classes. I go to church. I work on my own things, but I'm still suffering. Okay, do a one-on-one session with me and we'll figure out your stuff. The classes I go to church, I work on my own things, and I'm still suffering. Yeah, because your thinking is insane. Like it's all over the place. We need to get like a tether you to some type of like baseline reality. You're you're tying your thoughts to your emotions, like you're thinking just an emotion instead of any type of logic, essentially, Kaya. You have to utilize your logical mind, your mother mind. So talk to yourself the way you would talk to a child or even an adult child. What advice would you give them? You'll immediately feel better, by the way. Your suffering will decrease. My avoidance said he liked me so much and showered me with gifts, then disappeared. All of our avoidance did that, honey. What does vetting mean? Vetting means instead of dating, you're going to qualify the person as a candidate in a more professional manner instead of spending time until you lose track of your feelings and then get hurt, because obviously that's going to happen 99% of the time. What do you think when they say they are working on themselves and ask you to be patient with them? I think that's great if they stay in the relationship. But if they leave the relationship and tell you to be patient, that's a no. You left. I don't be patient with somebody I'm not even in a relationship with in terms of waiting for that. No, you don't wait for someone who leaves you. You move on. What's avoidant? The person who broke up with you? No, avoidant is pointing to a particular pattern. It's an attachment disorder. It's an insecure attachment. My grandma is on smear campaign against me following my dad's passing of her son. How do I manage? Cut your grandma off and cut off anyone that you believe she's talked to that is infected by the smear campaign. Then pursue your purpose, and then your new tribe will be attracted to you. I'm 66, but the guys in their 40s are after me. The older guys so far have been jerks. Okay, let me know what the question is. Sorry about that. I don't know what you're apologizing for, Maria. I don't think you did anything. Yes, clock it, Roman. Clock it. Love it here. Clock it. I have no idea what we're saying. I don't know what that means. you and if my ex, fearful, avoidant, appreciate and respect that I didn't give scandal after we broke up, what that means. I don't even know what your question means to tell you even what the situation. Your fearful, avoidant, appreciates and respects that you didn't give scandal. Okay. I can use my imagination of what give scandal means, I guess. So what does it mean that they appreciate that you didn't smear them? It means they're appreciative. that you didn't smear them. Nevertheless, they're still fearful avoidant, so you have to set up boundaries. You can't take them back until they change. Hi, Roman. Nice to see you. Janine. What's up, Janine? Welcome back. We should do a session sometime. Even if she's with another one after 2 months, set up your boundaries. Protect yourself with your standards and your boundaries. Thoughts on a 19-year-old dating a 31-year-old man? No comment. Everyone is different. Unfortunately, these people are adults in the United States system, and they are allowed to do that on a technical basis. So I don't have anything to say about adults doing what they want to do. Finally ended a 6-year situationship with AD. It's permanent, and I'm clear, but now I have migraines. Then it's not clear. You're not cleared up. There's still something. I'm with if it's related, if you can sense that stress related, then you're holding on to something. Otherwise you would feel total relief. I'm with a very abusive man. How do I change the fact that I stay because I think he needs help? How do you change the fact that you stay because you think he needs help? By not staying because you think he needs help. You can think he needs help. He does need help. I think everyone here agrees your abusive man needs help. But not from you. Because you're the one who gets abused. So you need help the most. So help yourself first. Now, how are you going to help yourself, Lindsay? How are you going to help yourself? If you look up across the room, Lindsay, on the door, there's this thing that you turn. It's called a doorknob or door handle. And what that does is it engages the latch so that it allows you to open the portal to a place where your ex or your husband is not at, or your abusive man is not at. You need to utilize that portal. I'm not seeing none of the comment he reading. That's because I'm going one by one, and there's no way that I could read all of the comments as fast as they come. So that means I'm above, back behind the comments. I'm not right there where the new comments are. Child's mom left me and got the guy she said was like a brother. I feel you, bro. She left you and went with the guy she said was like a brother. Well, what have you learned about this person? Would you like to continue trusting this person? No, I would assume. So withdraw your trust and move on. Parent your child and stay open for new connections. You need somebody who doesn't do that. Lynn, how do I handle the sadness of my daughter leaving our relationship? Write down all the benefits of your daughter leaving the relationship and then create a devaluation list about your daughter. If she's an adult, commend yourself for raising an independent adult who doesn't need you. Then that means you did parenting correctly on some level. You don't want an adult child that doesn't ever leave you. How do I handle the sadness? Yeah. Don't, and by the way, don't recopy and paste your same comment. Why do I blame myself for the discard? You blame yourself because it gives you something you can feel some sense of control over. Because if you can't blame yourself, then you have no control. And if you have no control, that seems scary. So it's easier just to self-blame, because then you have some sense of control. By giving yourself responsibility, you're giving yourself power. Stop doing that. It's false. Please tell me where your bead necklace came from. I was walking through the jungle. on a search and rescue mission, and I encountered people that lived in the jungle, and their house was on stilts, and you would think that, like, when you walk past their house, they would be like weary of you, but instead these people came out and they chopped coconuts down off of their tree, and they gave us the coconuts, which is like a drink, right? So you open up the coconut and you can just like drink the water, and it is so refreshing. That doesn't have anything to do with my beaded necklace, but I thought it would be a good story to tell anyway. What's your thoughts on relationships? Does it really require games, as in being distant to get power? Oh, you're talking about game. There's game and then there's relationships. Does it really require game? Let's see. Are you a man or a woman? You're a man. Yeah, you need some game. You need some game. Yeah. It's about having basic relationship skills to understand how to commodify your presence and not allow it to be devalued by the feminine. Doorknob message is a word. She lied. Sorry, I just joined. First time here. Appreciate the content. Yeah, welcome. I got ghosted when I asked what was going on and asking for clarity after 3 months. You're in the right place, guys. Definitely make sure you're following. We're going to be here again tomorrow, 12 noon, for the 12 days of healing together. We have day 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to still do. You pulled up your shirt and they threw the beads. No. We had a situation. She discarded me, but then came back, but just wants cuddling, but no intimacy. Yeah, you got to ask yourself, does this meet my standards? Am I good with a woman that just wants to cuddle and nothing more? If yes, then you're good to go. You got your dream woman. If not, then you need to cut her off.